Welcome back to Liam Doesn't Know Ball. I'm Liam, an American who objectively doesn't know ball, but that does not stop me from having opinions. Today I'm here to predict the Premier League Game Week 2. There are some interesting matchups, and I have some thoughts. Let's get into the score predictions. So kicking off this weekend, Brighton at Man United at Brighton, and Brighton haven't been a bit of a boogie team for Manchester United in recent seasons. And based on their performances last week, Man United really struggled. They needed a last minute goal. Brighton looked very good against Everton. I think it's gonna be. I'm giving. I think Manchester United will look better. I think that just the first game week can always be a little nervy, a little getting settled. I think they'll be a little bit more settled, but I think that Brighton really like to play that possession-based football. They're very well drilled. They're very well drilled. And they have home field advantage. So I'm going Brighton 2, Manchester United 1. Okay, next it's a bit of a London derby, sort of. I have Crystal Palace 2, West Ham 2. West Ham got off to a bit of a slow start against Aston Villa. I couldn't really see a big difference between Lopetegui and Moyes at this point. I know it's only week 2 of the season, but so far, not really. And granted, they weren't really. Their lineup was weird. I know they did their business late, but they didn't have even Ward Prowse in the starting lineup. That shocked me. He's not a new guy who needs to get to know these tactics. He's been there all summer. So I think that West Ham will have their newer players in and be more competitive and put together some better passages of play. But Crystal Palace are just kind of as long as you've got Eze in there, it's going to be pretty to watch. I think that they'll get a couple of. I think that here's what I think will happen. I think Crystal Palace will have fewer chances, but they'll be more clinical. I think West Ham will create more chances. Do I think that? No, actually, strike that. Reverse it. I think Crystal Palace will create more chances, but Areola is a very decent goalkeeper. I think he'll keep West Ham in the game. And West Ham will just be a little bit more critical. They'll have Volkrog just being a number 9 and just barreling people over. And, I'm not mad at watching that. I'm looking forward to it. Next up, I have Fulham 1, Leicester 1. Fulham looked good against Manchester United, and Leicester, they got a draw against Tottenham. They looked pretty good considering I thought that they were going down without much of a fight, but part of that's due to points deductions. Either way, I just don't see either team having the ability to go out and win it. I think that sounds harsh because I know I said Fulham would finish 12th, but Leicester just don't impress me much. I think Fulham's got a little bit more going on, but I'm not sure they have that proven, consistent, clinical finisher. So, and Jamie Vardy is Jamie Vardy. He'll probably get the goal. Next up, oh my god. This is probably going to be the halftime score, but this is what I'm going with. City 5, Ipswich 0. Is anyone even giving Ipswich a goal? I doubt it. Yeah, they played okay against Liverpool. I think at the beginning they started well, but then Liverpool just kind of broke them down, and that probably left them feeling confident. But keep in mind, that was at Ipswich with a crowd that's so excited that they're just back in the Premier League. And now they're going to the Lions Den, that is the Etihad, with all of the internationals coming back. It's not going to be pretty. Holland might score 6. Yeah, poor Ipswich. That's all I can say. Yeah, do I have anything else to say about this? Oh, yeah, City don't show mercy. I don't anticipate them to do it. I think they know that Arsenal got pretty darn close to them last season. If anything, they're probably just going to use this as a chance to run up the goal difference, and you can't blame them. It's part of the game. It's not pretty to watch, but it's just what you got to do. Sorry, Ipswich. Next I have Southampton 1, Forest 2. Southampton worry me. They just bought Cameron Archer from Aston Villa, and I think that he'll get more service than he did at Sheffield because that Sheffield side was just so bad. Very limited creativity. But I just, after watching Southampton last week, I am very concerned. I think Forest they at least have some like talent across the pitch in Morgan Gibbs-White. Chris Wood, is he an incredible goal scorer? No, but he can score goals in the Premier League. And I see no reason why Forest can't put two past a pretty weak Southampton side. Next, I have Tottenham 2, Everton 0. Tottenham, I think that Ange Ball is going to be back in front of their home crowd. Everton is going to be missing James Tarkowski, who is a leader and a solid defender. Not super incredible, but he is a solid defender. You could do a lot worse than him. So missing out on him is going to be hard. I just think that... And Jordan Pickford's a very good goalkeeper. I just think that it'll be very difficult to keep Tottenham at bay. Like, I just think that Tottenham are going to play around Everton, and it might even be worse than 2-0. Okay, next up, we have a beautiful, delicious 11:30 my time game in Aston Villa and Arsenal. I am probably showing a little bit of bias here. I want to back a Villa win. I really do. But I would rip your hand off right now for a draw. But a 2-all draw, because I want to see goals. And I don't think this is completely out of the realm of possibilities, because Villa had Arsenal's number last season. And yes, I know in the first game, Kai Havertz's goal should it have stood, maybe. But yeah, Emery's just this tactical genius, and it was flowing last week against West Ham. I can see it flowing again this week. Yes, Arsenal are an incredible side. They will create chances, and hopefully they'll finish them. That was the problem last season. They couldn't finish their dinner against Villa. So I think they will this time, but I think that Villa are going to score as well and keep it even, and it's going to be entertaining. Okay, now moving on to Sunday, I have Bournemouth 0, Newcastle 2. Bournemouth don't have a striker anymore, so and Newcastle are pretty scary. They are just, yeah, leave them at 11 men. They'll be just fine. Yeah, I don't really have more to say about that. It seems like a pretty obvious scoreline. Next I have Wolves 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have to beat Wolves. It's that simple. They have to. They have too much, in theory, quality. Now, Chelsea's problem is a lot of times it doesn't play out on the pitch because they buy a new squad every transfer window. But Wolves are pretty weak right now. I think they'll get it over the line. Someone's gonna bungle in a goal. If not, they need to hang their heads in shame. That is not acceptable for the amount of money they've spent, and I'll probably start being boldly out because it's so bad. Like, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but like, and I know we shouldn't feel bad for Chelsea fans, but like, I kind of do. It's this American buffoon coming in, ruining their club. I feel a little bad for them. And then finally, Liverpool 3, Brentford 1. Liverpool looked sharp last week. Yes, they're still getting up to speed. It's week 1 and they were away, but they got their 2 goals. They were patient. Now they're back at Anfield. It looks like they're going to announce that Trent is staying to 2029. Atmosphere is going to be incredible at Anfield. And Ivan Toney looks like he's done at Brentford. Yes, they have other attacking options in Emblemo and Issa. Visa, I think? Issa? Visa. I'm sorry, I forgot how to spell his name for just a moment. I think they'll probably get something. I think that just like a, a lot of peppered shots in the box, or like a couple of quick saves, and then just someone finds the goal where Allison isn't. But that'll probably just be a consolation. And yeah, if they even get a goal, I'll be surprised, frankly. So yeah, those are my predictions. I've been a bit of a mess, but wanted to get those predictions out. So when I say I got all the scorelines right, no one can say that I lied. All right. I hope that you and your team have a good weekend, unless they're playing mine.